Why is it hard for successful women to find an equal partner? Go ahead and play this clip.
Question is this idea of like the boss chick and independent black woman, and
Mhm.
has that
Has it
helped?
served us? Is that
Yeah,
the question?
yeah.
Has that served
Is it
us?
helpful, or is it destroying the black family ecosystem?
I think you have to say on some level it's destructive to a traditional black family ecosystem. I think just the facts bear that out, right? So that's not feelings, that's not subjective. That's just the reality is, as you just pointed out, uh, there is a huge numbers gap between black women that are buying homes at almost twice the rate of single black men
Hmm.
that are graduating from undergrad and professional schools at sometimes 6 7 times the rate of our brothers. And by the way, if you ask most black women, that's not something that we enjoy or appreciate. Like, it's not a situation. And I think that's another misconstruction and a misassumption that black women are out here strategically competing against black men. No, sir. Most of us want to be in relationship with black men. And so it's in our interest, even selfishly. So not necessarily from this altruistic place of, oh, we just want to see our brother succeed. There's that for sure. But there's a self-interested element of that, right? That says, if I'm a black woman and I want to have black children with a black man and live in a house with a black husband and buy properties and travel the world and enjoy my life alongside a black man, I would like him to be similarly positioned to me socioeconomically so that that partnership feels comfortable and feels safe from a fiscal place. And maybe some other places too. So let me just spend a little time on that, because I was talking to a very good girlfriend of mine who's one of your typical clients, as you described, early 40s, making 500K plus, single, da, da, da. And there's a lot of thought that women like her, myself, even, of course, are materialistic. And that's why when we say we are attracted to this type of man, or we prefer to date this kind of man that has similarly, notice hardly any of us are saying we need a man to make more than us, or we need a man to take care of us, or we need a man to pay our bills. No, really, truly, hand to God, we really just really would love to be partnered with someone who is similarly positioned.
All right. Here's the independent women mindset destroying the traditional ecosystem. Go ahead, James. You want to?
Yo, she got me all messed up. Like so she said that they just want to be similar position. Last time I checked, black men still make more money than black women, so it shouldn't be hard to find, right? If that's the case, right? You want somebody similar making money to you. All right, cool. And then a lot of these conversations, it kind of frustrates me because I do real estate. I know my brother Mark's up there. He do real estate too as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure about the other brothers, but I know some other people on this panel do it too as well. Um, it's not every it's an art to it, right? A lot of times, a lot of guys don't really want to jump out there because there's a lot of debt, it's a lot of risk that it comes with, right? And then it depends on the job market. Say if I want to be in Houston next year, I don't want to buy a house and be tied down here. So a lot of women with children are gonna want to settle down because they can't make move like just like a single man can without kids and stuff. So with these conversations that we having, we're not thinking about the full picture, right? We're just thinking about getting a whole bunch of debt because that's what you're basically telling men. Go to college, whole bunch of debt. Buy a house, whole bunch of debt. All right, cool. What am I going to do with all this debt? How am I going to get a wife? How am I going to take care of this family if I got all this debt and all this type of stuff? I can easily go get a trade and make more than you with your college degree. That's what a lot of men think. I have degrees, right? But the military paid for that shit. So I wasn't going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different mindset that a lot of men have. And a lot of women have to understand that a lot of degrees that y'all getting is not going to be beneficial for you in the long run. So you saying all this type of stuff, whatever, because you're a lawyer, right? But that's cool. But most people are not going to school to be a lawyer. So you have to bring it down a little bit. And when you have these type of conversations, look at the full picture because it's always, oh, black men are not at our level. Oh, black men are not terrible fathers. And all these different studies that coming out showing that black men are actually doing pretty good. Now we still getting beat up. So that's kind of frustrates me. Me being married to a woman, me building with my wife, and me seeing we got 4 boys, we doing all this type of stuff that a lot of people like to say they want to do, but they just the ego is too big just to get with somebody and just, all right, let's go on with life. It's crazy.
I got a question for the fellas on the panel, for the single fellas, and I got a running theory, so this is gonna tie into my theory. For all the single men on the panel, are y'all homeowners?
No.
All right.
Yes.
Why did y'all buy y'all first home?
Why?
Why?
Oh,
'Cause I got tired of paying more in rent than I would for a house payment.
that part.
Okay. So,
But
because here's
also
my
it's a long term. But also it's a long term investment as well. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I didn't buy like a single family home. I bought a multi. You know what I'm saying? A fourplex multi home, and on top of that, you know what I'm saying? I don't only own that property. I also own land. So
okay. So
there's
yeah.
that
Okay.
other.
Okay. So actually, because I had this running theory, right? Because she rattled off the statistic that there are more black female homeowners than black men or what have you. And what I realized is that men don't just typically buy homes just for the sake of living them. If they're gonna buy a home, a single black man is more than likely an investment property. Only women go out and buy houses and buy 3-bedroom houses for them to actually live in. And they got 2 bedrooms empty. One of them might be a gym, but the rest of the bedrooms are empty and they're not doing anything with the home other than living in it. You don't see that amongst men. So for a lot of men, if it ain't an investment, they're not going to buy a home. And most men tend to buy homes for their families. They don't buy it just for, you're not going to see too many single men buying homes. That's first and foremost. They don't see the reason for it besides what Hank said, but if they don't care about paying the rent, they just don't care. Especially if they know they can buy a home later on. Men tend to wait for our families before we decide to buy a home. Second thing that she mentioned is that black women are graduating at a higher rate. That is true. Black women are graduating at a higher rate than black men. However, every race of women graduate at a higher rate than their male counterparts. What is untrue about what she said is the 6 to 7 times mark. There is not 6 to 7 times more women graduating from college than black men. That is simply not true. The graduation rate for black women may be, I think it's 36%, and black men is 27%. So you're looking at a 7 to 8% difference between, almost a 10% difference between black men and black women. For white women, I think it comes up to like 6%, Asian women, but like y'all, black women are not outpacing black men in college graduation the way that they claim that they are. Even then, they did a study. Let's throw in for the sake of argument, let's throw in the study about, black men are in jail. That's not true. In fact, one of the things, I can't remember the exact article, but the New York Times wrote an article dispelling the myth that there was only 83 eligible black men to every 100 women. What they found out was that on the Census Bureau, because most of that data came from the census, is that black men are heavily underrepresented because we tend to not fill out the census. So they found out that a lot of black men were heavily underrepresented, and when they accounted for that disparity, they found out, even with the prison population, that there is actually 97 black men to every 100 black women, and that number only drops to like 91 when you go up in age, because men obviously die sooner than most men die sooner than women. So even if that's the case, there's still 91 black men to every 100 black women. So when she says things like, I can't find somebody on my level, that's bull crap. It goes back to what Shannon said. What is it about you that man does not like? Because they are out there. I tried to explain this to a lady on Lapeef Let's Talk. Men, just like, there's just as many men in your tax bracket. There's just as many black men in your tax bracket as there are black women in your tax bracket. Because if you look around the room, you don't see a shit ton of black women. You see men. That's what y'all say. Y'all complain about there being an overrepresentation of men in your field. How many times y'all heard women who are successful say they were the only woman in their field? So how is it that you're the only woman in your field, but you also fix your list to say that there are no men at your level? It makes literally no sense. And what Ebony has to realize is that it's not about you, in a sense where you can't find what you want because there aren't eligible men. Why don't you ask the men that you want, what do they want? And either do it or don't do it.